Hey everybody, it's Brooks here, Senior Pastor, First Baptist Church of the Islands. Hope you're having a great day today. Hope your day is off to a great start. Thank you for joining me for today's 5 for 5. So a couple of weeks ago, I preached a message that dealt with the topic of depression, discouragement, anxiety. And I used as part of that message one of the prophets named Elijah. And a lot of his story that I referenced is in 1 Kings 18 and 1 Kings 19. The basic gist of that story is that Elijah went toe to toe with 400 prophets of a false god named Baal. And ultimately, he defeated those false prophets, and he did so. Actually, God defeated them, and he did it in miraculous fashion through Elijah. The victory was unmistakable, but it was right on the heels of that Elijah became incredibly discouraged to the point to where he didn't even want to live anymore. And it was because the king's wife, a woman named Jezebel, basically put a threat out on his life, and he fled away from there. And it was in the next chapter, or in that chapter, 1 Kings chapter 19, where Elijah really ended up meeting up with the Lord, and the Lord came to him and encouraged him. And he encouraged him not in the big and the miraculous. He encouraged him through just his still small voice, through his presence. How often does God encourage us and speak into our lives in those still small voice moments, right? Not through the miraculous, but through those times when you open the Bible, or you go to him in prayer and he speaks into your life. And so God speaks to Elijah. And it's interesting what he says here. I want to just make mention of this passage in 1 Kings chapter 19. Elijah says to the Lord in verse 14 there, he said, "I have been very zealous for the Lord, the God of hosts, for the sons of Israel have forsaken your covenant, torn down your altars, killed your prophets with the sword, and I alone am left, and they seek my life to take it away." Isn't it interesting how Elijah, in his time of challenge and trial, he felt so incredibly alone? He said, "I'm the only one left." And there are times when we go through seasons of discouragement or difficulty or challenge, and I think the enemy makes us feel that way, that no one else is around for us. Obviously, we know the Lord is around. We know he's there, that he cares. But sometimes we feel so isolated and so all alone. Listen to what God says to Elijah. 1 Kings 19, going a little further, he gives him instruction as to how to appoint some leaders. And then he says in verse 18, "Yet I will leave 7,000 in Israel, all the knees that have not bowed to Baal, and every mouth that has not kissed him." 7,000 people that were there that Elijah apparently didn't even realize that were as devoted to the Lord as he was. A lot of times in your life, whenever you struggle, if you just take a moment to step back and remember, yes, the Lord is here with me, but he's also put people around me. Sometimes we have to initiate that first step. And if we just take a moment to look and see, a lot of times there are people that are around us that have shared the same struggle we have. They've already been there. Maybe you've been one that have walked a difficult road, but you've never thought about making yourself available to others who may struggle in the same way that you have. Or maybe you are in the midst of the struggle, but you've never taken a step back to just look and see, are there others that can be an encouragement to me? God puts people in our paths all the time. And that's one of the great benefits of the church, that when we're involved in a church family, not just attending, but invested there, and when we're in a part of a small group or a Bible study, man, that God uses that so greatly to remind us that we're not alone, and that he does give us resources, not just his presence, but also he manifests himself many times through the presence of others around us. So if you're going through that struggle today, ask yourself, who is around me that I can turn to? And maybe even pray to the Lord, God, would you just bring somebody alongside of me that I haven't recognized that can be an encouragement to me in the midst of the struggle? And if you've come through the other side of a struggle, ask the Lord to use you as an encouragement to those that are around you. Man, I hope this can be an encouragement to you today and a help for you. Maybe you can even share this video with somebody around you. Be sure to check out our newsletter if you haven't already from our church. It goes out every Friday digitally. If you didn't get it, let us know. We'll put you on our email list, and then tune in tomorrow for the next 5 for 5. Hey, I'm about to get eaten up by the gnats out here. It is March in Savannah. Hope you have a great day. God bless you.